Squelch, 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 squelch.
Welcome back to Squelch, the video game book club. It's been so long since I've talked about Dragon Age 2.
I know.
Today?
I'm mad at arms. It's been like 10 minutes.
And Storm Rage. And we're here back with a brand new attitude. Haven't seen these guys in days. To remind you that Dragon Age 2 is a game, and games are supposed to be fun.
This week, we are playing the main quest, Long Way Home, secondary quest, Finders Keepers, the First Sacrifice, Herbalist tasks, which is a big one, and the Unbidden Rescue, as well as the companion quest, Isabela's Contact, Welcome Home, and Nice Crime you have around here. Next week, I'm going on vacation, so we are going to release a Squelch Live recorded at BlizzCon, which we will have already recorded by the time this episode releases, and I'm sure it was amazing. You guys killed it, by the way. That episode was awesome, and probably the best episode of Squelch we have ever recorded.
Yeah, Storm Rage, you said that one thing that I've just been thinking about for days afterwards. It was just so funny.
We talked about it all the way home, Storm Rage. That was so insightful.
Without a doubt.
Insightful and funny. Like, it was like, oh, this guy right here. Yeah. And like, in your knowledge of the Museum of Clean was truly impressive. Like, just the ins and outs of, like, you were essentially a tour guide, an unpaid tour guide. Like, I felt blessed to be there.
You could say it was immaculate. It was,
I'm very good at giving tours of the Museum of Clean.
Oh, we're so funny. After that, we are back on our regularly scheduled programming. We'll be playing the quests Black Powder Promise, Enemies Among Us, Shepherding Wolves, Wayward Son, Act of Mercy, and Friends in Low Places. Those are all main quests, friends. You only have to play Friends in Low Places if you haven't paid Bertrand before the Deep Roads Expedition. We're also playing the secondary quest, An Errant Letter, and the companion quests, Exiled Prince and Duty. Those last two are attached to the DLC companion, Sebastian. So if somehow you don't have the DLCs, you won't have Exiled Prince and Duty. I'll be honest, I have almost no memory of Sebastian. I think he's like a goody-goody two-shoes. Like, I think he works for the Chantry or something. I don't rightly remember, but maybe he's awesome. We'll find out. So, as a reminder, we are using the guide written by No Zero. Thank you very much, No Zero. The link is in the podcast description, along with a list of the quests we are playing each week. The link to that guide and the Google Doc with our weekly plan are both available in the podcast description of each episode. Should we go thank some patrons?
Thanks.
Sure.
I am pretty incredible.
Thank.
Thanks, patrons and Twitch subs. Again, Twitch subs. Promise you we're getting back on Twitch. Summer is crazy, as we talked about last week, as you can tell from the intro this week. We are busy bees, and so recording on Twitch has just been super difficult. But, now that we're in August, school is starting again pretty soon, and so we'll be back on our regular scheduled programming because we'll be back with, like, school stuff. Storm Rage and I both work at colleges. Matt and I both have kids, so we have to get scheduled again. So, we're winding down. We'll get back on our weekly schedule. We'll be back on Twitch again soon. So thank you all so much for your continued support. We do really, really appreciate it. Patrons and Twitch subs. All right, so we are talking about the lore after this week's recap, because after this week's recap, we essentially have all of our companions except for Sebastian. And so we're going to go over all of that once we get done with this week's recap. So let's hop right in with the good stuff.
Let's just see what happens. We have a long year ahead of us.
Storm Rage, I would love for you to tell me about the quest, Fools Rush In. Now, I don't know much about this quest, and I haven't heard about this quest in like ages. So, yeah, I'd love for you to break this down for me. Yeah.
So you can go ahead and hang back to the Hanged Man, which is the main tavern in town where you hang out with Varric and a number of other individuals. And as you go to the Hanged Man, a cutscene will trigger in which an individual and his crew are asking for payment from a pirate that is technically in Dragon Age Origins, and I didn't realize that, but she is in Denerim, and they are asking for payment from said pirate named Isabela. And after asking for payment, Isabela says, "Hey, no, because I asked you for information to look so I could find this thing, and that information wasn't good. So because you didn't give me good information, I'm not paying you." And they say, "Well, we're gonna beat you up in order to get that information." And she says, "No, you can try," and beats the snot out of them. And then she turns to Hawk and says, "Hey, you seem like not a terrible person. How would you like to assist me in doing a totally normal deal? I have this dude who won't leave me alone, and I've agreed to duel him, and if I win, he leaves me alone, probably because he's dead. And I'm going to go do that, but I think there's going to be some shenanigans. Will you make sure that there's no shenanigans?"
So Isabela, for those who I don't think we talked about her very much or at all in Origins, but she is the NPC in the brothel who gives you the duelist specialty. So that's how you learn that. If you're a rogue, that's how you learn that specialty, or if you want your rogue to learn it. So you have to like duel her or something. There's something like a little thing that happens there, but you run into her in like the adult house, I guess. I'm not sure how else to say it. Right? The brothel.
The adult house is very good.
Yeah, the adult house, and you can further adult with Isabela, I believe, at the adult house in Dragon Age Origins. And for sure in Dragon Age 2. So that's Isabela. But she's fantastic. She's super funny and she's great. I love Isabela. She's so much fun.
She's Captain Isabela.
She was Captain Isabela.
Captain Isabela, yeah.
Speaking of Isabela's contact, the next companion quest, Matt, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so like Isabela says, "Hey, by the way, I know a guy. He has a job for us. He's been in this back room in this bar. Let's go talk to him." And so you go talk to him, and you can say, "Hey, what job you got?" He's like, "Hey, I have some goods from my ship that got taken over by some pirates on the way in. They like grounded my ship and they stole all my cargo, and all my stuff is marked with Orlesian shipping labels. So if you could find those for me, that'd be great." And you ask, "Hey, how do I know what an Orlesian shipping label looks like?" He says, "Because they're fancy." Because everything Orlesian is fancy. I love it.
That. That's so good.
Yeah. So then you do, and then you get the quest, Finders Keepers, which takes you to the docks at night. So you basically sneak past some guards or kill them like I did. You find the pile of loot. It's a bunch of poison. You go back and you're like, "Hey, that's poison. Do you want, or you really should be working in poison?" And he's like, "What if I pay you to forget about that?" And I'm like, "Sure." That's what I did.
Nice. Is this the one where you have to first go to like the dock worker guy? And
yeah, you go to the dock worker guy. He says he blows you off, and then you go at night, and then you like kill all the dogs, and then you look at the logs, and then you go into a warehouse, and then like in the warehouse.
That is not how I did this
much
quest.
different than I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you talk to the main guy. He gives you he pawns you off on his lieutenant. His clerk.
Yes.
And then the clerk's like, "Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea. Whatever." And then Isabela's like, "Hey, we can check his logs at night." I'm like, "That's a good idea."
I don't think I brought Isabela with me.
You didn't bring Isabela on this mission?
I did.
It's your buddy.
I was just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I get it. You want money. Here's 2 gold because I have an infinite supply of money and I have no need of it because I have equipment that's better than any money can buy."
No, I'm paying for my Deep Roads expedition. I need 50 gold.
50 gold for the Deep Roads expedition.
So I'm saving all the gold I can to go to the Deep Roads expedition.
That I did not know. Where in the game does it tell me I need to save 50 gold?
Varric says it when he first meets you. Varric's like, "Hey,
and in the quest
you need
log,
to give me 50 gold to buy into the expedition."
No, I don't think that's true. And you expect me to read a quest log, Matt? Absolutely not. Ridiculous. If it is not on my mini map, the quest does not exist.
There is a quest that comes up later that you only get if you don't have the money to pay Bertrand to go on the quest. So I look forward to you doing that,
Storm
Daniel.
doing that one. Yeah.
So if you don't have Isabela, or you don't know that you can do the night version of it, he says, pay me 2 gold. And then you're only given the pay him gold, leave, or the aggressive option. And the aggressive option, Hawk like puts a dagger at his throat. And she's like, what are you going to do? Tell me what it is. He's like, you're going to stab me in the middle of the day. We both know you're not going to do that. And so then that option goes away. And then all you have is to slink away with your tail between your legs, or give him the 2 gold.
No, I did the full murder hobo where I just came at night, look, because they had dogs guarding, had the dogs guarding the books, right? So then you had to go kill like 5 dogs because they all come at you.
Okay, Michael Vick, whatever.
Okay, Dano, incredible joke there.
That's 3 terrible people in 2 weeks.
Yeah. What an episode.
Diddy.
I just gave him money, and then he was like, hey, yeah, it's over here. So then I walked over there, and the guards were like, can't get through. And I went, okay. And you can go back at night, and there's just one guard, and he's asleep, and you can just walk right past him. So I got to the warehouse with 0 murders.
What?
Oh,
I bribed the dude, then I had to murder the guards.
Yeah, you can just go back at nighttime, and it's just
so
one guard
bad
who
at this
falls
game.
asleep.
Apparently, I went full murder hobo, as I tend to do, where it's just like I show up at night, kill a bunch of dogs, read the book, and then go kill the guards.
And here, I thought this was a throwaway quest. I'm so glad we're talking about all of them, because I would have skipped this otherwise. I thought there was nothing here.
Wow.
Yeah. So you do get, this is a fun little thing where you get to where at the end of this quest, you're given the option of telling him where it is. He gives you 2 gold. Telling him you're not going to tell him where it is because it's poison. And then he goes, okay, what if I sweeten the deal? And then you get 4 gold. Or you can say, no, this is poison. I'm not telling you. And then he goes, oh, thanks for ruining my life. And then walks away. So there are options here. And then if you tell him, no, you're not telling him where it is, his store never opens up. So he opens up a little poison shop. And so if you don't tell him where it is, he never opens his poison shop. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I told him where it is. It's like, hey, here's your stuff, and
I got
I'll
4
forget
gold.
about it if you pay me a couple.
It cost me 2 gold to get to figure out where the warehouse was, so I figure I had to bribe him. So
no, you don't have to bribe him. You just have to.
Well, I know that now, Matt. At the time, I did not know that. I also knew you couldn't go in at night during the sleeping guard. I did not know what was going on.
No, it was daytime sleeping guard, right? Or was it nighttime?
It was nighttime, because daytime
was sleeping guard.
Yeah.
Well, I went at night, and the guards were all awake, and there's a bunch of them. Maybe because
I got 45 gold. I'm fine.
All right.
I saw you log in. I was wondering why you logged in.
Well, that was entertaining. That was better than I thought it was going to be. That'll tell us about the next quest, which is the first sacrifice.
Did we do Finders Keepers, the one we went back? Okay, yeah, it was. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So the first sacrifice is another super fun quest, actually. So we find like a help wanted poster, like just sitting there at the chantry. And so we go find this dude, and he's French, and he is a bad person. French equals Orlesian, by the way. He's like, I married my wife, and we liked each other. And then we quickly didn't like each other, and now she has boyfriends, and she disappeared, and I'm worried her family's going to be mad at me. You need to find her so her family's not mad at me. He very much does not care where his wife is. He does not want to get blamed for her disappearance. And we're like, you kind of stink, dude, but I still want to figure out where she went. She also seems like not a great person, but we also don't blame her because you kind of suck.
Yeah, it does seem like 2 people that are destined to not be together. And so I don't blame either of them for hating the other person because they don't work well. And I also don't blame the dude to be like, I don't like her, but I didn't kill her. Please help make sure that I don't get blamed for her dying.
Yeah, because like if I lose my money, as long as the money keeps flowing, I don't care. That's basically what his deal is.
So we get to Darktown, and we find a Templar there, and he is like, hey, he's like getting attacked, and we save him. And he's like, oh man, thanks for saving me. What are you doing here? And we're like, oh, we're looking for we're looking for this lady. She's married to a bad person. And he's like, oh, I'm looking for a chantry sister. And we're like, hey, is there a chance she like ran off? And he's like, no, she's always been like super into being, not chance, sorry, a mage from the circle. And we're like, well, why don't you follow her phylactery? And he's like, oh, we tried, but then like the trail went cold. And then I'm like, in my head, this is Dan, not the game. I'm like, that's not how it works, but whatever. I guess we were lazy here on the writing team. And so he's like, yeah, so I came here and she's missing. And I'm like, maybe she ran off. And he's like, no, she never would run off. And she's also kind of an old lady. And we're like, well, we're looking for somebody else who disappeared. And he's like, oh, well, this is too hard for me. So it's your quest now, buddy. And I'm like, well, don't you have like other Templars? But whatever, guy, I guess.
Well, he shows up
Yeah, it
later,
seems like
doesn't
there
he?
should be someone other than myself involved here, but okay.
Am I the only person doing any good in this entire city? And spoilers for the rest of the game, yes. But so then we get off to, we find out where she went. Her trail ended at the Dark Foundry. The Dark Foundry is in Lowtown, so we go there. We find a bunch of demons and abominations and shades. We have to kill them all. Go back to the gallows courtyard where what even happens? I don't remember how that works. So anyways,
That's
at
where
the
you turn in the
foundry,
quest.
after we like kill all the demons and everything like that, we find like a bag with like a severed hand
Her stuff,
and like
and a ring, like
Yeah.
like a severed body parts and a ring. Yeah.
So we go and we let the Templar know that there's like some sort of like cult doing like sacrifices and stuff, and then we go back to her husband and say, hey, here's her ring. And he's like, thank you. And you're like, yeah, I found it on her severed hand. And he's like, you have it. You keep it. I don't think I should be anywhere near that.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
great.
told him you don't need to worry where I got it from. It's here, and he said, "Thank you. I'll send it to her family."
Nope. If you say, oh, I found it on her severed hand, he's like, nope, you keep it.
He's like, ha ha ha, no way, you keep it. Because he's French.
Yeah, no, I get it. He's our legion.
But thank you for explaining what a French accent might sound like to our wonderful viewers.
Just the most sad American ways. Cucumber, cucumber, cucumber. From that fantastic TikTok. Anyways, whatever. This entire quest I think is the funniest quest in the whole game.
It's really good.
Because like
It's super fun.
and he just doubles down, and at one point you're like, maybe I don't think that your wife's family caring what happened to stuff should be the big. You know what? Never mind.
Hey, the money stopped flowing if he finds out they killed her. He killed her.
Yeah. So Storm Rage, tell us about the main quest, Long Way Home.
So, Long Way Home is kind of the... It is important to recall that at the very beginning of the game, when Flemeth saves us from the Darkspawn, she gives us a pendant and says, hey, bring this pendant to this person, and we'll consider us square. I saved your life, you do this, we're good. And so this is where that quest finally comes back. You still have the pendant, and you are told that you need to take it to this group. And so you take it to these Dalish elves who are just outside of the city. These elves have an encampment, and they are talking about how they're about to move because they've kind of picked the hunting grounds clean, and they do not like you because you are a human, and they do not like humans, and they are very clear that they have no interest in you approaching them in any way, shape, or form. And then you're like, I've got an amulet, and they go, okay, you can come in. Nobody else, just you and your friends, but nobody else. This is no human zone still. So you go talk to the main person in charge. And she says, okay, fantastic. If you're not quite done yet, you got to go to this place, you got to do this thing. And also, please, please, please take this one with you. Referencing Meryl, who will become one of our companions. And you're like, why do I take them with me? And they're like, because you need them to do the ritual. And also take them with you forever and ever. Don't let them come back. And you're like, what? Why? And you're like, we don't have time to explain, but she can't be here anymore. So please take her and leave. So you go, all right, well, go talk to Meryl. Meryl is this pretty shy individual who is not super confident in herself, but also really confident in whatever choice she has made that has led to her being an outcast, she goes, this is the right choice. But also, if I talk to another person, I'm going to probably die. And it is wild to see those two things be true. You make your way up to this mountaintop, and you are fighting a bunch of Darkspawn and other things, and you eventually make it. Or not Darkspawn. I don't think it's Darkspawn. Is it Darkspawn?
Nope, it's demons and stuff, right? It's
Okay, I thought
spiders,
okay.
actually. It's like...
That sounds right.
Yeah.
And you make your way to this altar, and Meryl says, okay, I'm going to perform this ritual. Stand back. And she performs a ritual.
Rewind.
What?
So there is a barrier that we have to get through that Meryl has to get us through. And so there's this magical barrier that we can't cross. And so in order to get to the magical barrier, like Meryl pulls out a knife and like cuts herself and then very clearly uses blood magic to get through the barrier. And we're like, oh, that's why they want to get rid of her. She's a blood mage. And like, if you have Bethany with you, you're like, certainly there could have been another way to do that. And she's like, well, this was the fastest. And you're like, oh, I get it. We get it. She's a blood mage. Okie dokie.
She a blood mage. But blood mage bad. We know that. So she's probably bad, but not now. And maybe we'll find out more nuances about what blood mages are this game. I sure hope so, because that sounds like a more interesting story choice than blood mage bad.
Very much so.
And afterwards, you then she places the amulet on the altar, does another ritual, and is that Flemeth's music out of nowhere? Flemeth.
No, it's more like bum 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 bum.
The Star Trek
Perfect.
Voyager theme song. No.
Yeah.
And Flemeth appears and goes, hey, thanks for holding up your end of the bargain. And you're like, no problem. What happened? Did you just teleport here? And she goes, it's complicated. I think Morgan tried to kill me. And you're like, okay, do I need to know about Morgan? And she's like, no, don't worry about it. She's kind of my daughter, but kind of not. So she tried to kill me. Are you two fighting? Kinda not. Don't worry about it. Okay, do you need anything else from me? No, I'm back alive. I'm good. Peace out. We're even. And then she leaves. And then you go back into the kind of the elven village, and they're like, hey, don't forget to take Meryl with you. We don't want her. And you go, okay, I guess we'll head back to the city now. So you head back to the city, and Meryl has a house in the middle of the elven alienage, and it is not great quality. And then you have a conversation with her in the quest, Welcome Home, and it's just like, hey, here's where you live. Thanks.
She's like, yeah.
And that's the quest.
And so she's like, yeah, I've never had people over before to my house. I never had many friends even within the Dalish. And she's like, I'm sorry, my house is such a mess. And she's like kind of like futzing over it. And she's like, do you want a drink? I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this. She's absolutely wonderful. She's very like, gives very like, you know what? I didn't go to college and I'm living on my own vibes and I can do this, but I don't know what I'm doing. It's super great. I love Meryl. Yeah. She's fantastic. But
Meryl's a great character.
The entire conversation with Flemeth is insane because she's like, hey, thanks a whole bunch for saving me. I'm just like a little bit of me. So I basically separated me and put part of me in this amulet because I think that my daughter is going to kill me. So thank you for bring back to life because I think I'm dead, but maybe I'm not dead. And so it's so much fun. There's an answer where she's like, well, you do what you need to do. Go, sometimes you have to go and just fly. And then you can answer, well, it's a lot easier if you're a dragon.
I said that one. Yep.
But yeah, then you get to Welcome Home, and she invites Hawk over, and then you go over, and she's like, Hawk, maybe come by again sometime. It's fantastic. She's wonderful. So then we go and we talk to this herbalist, and he doesn't have any stuff because he's scared to go get the stuff. And you're like, hey, I can go get the stuff. He's like, okay, cool. Here, I need you to get spider's silk gland, a dragon's fang, which, I mean, that seems a little bit insane, but you're welcome, and pure iron bark. Two of those things I just happen to have on me.
Yeah, same.
From like just questing. And so it was like, oh, I just need pure iron bark. So I had to go back to the Dalish,
The
and was
Dalish
like,
camp,
hey,
yeah.
where do I get pure iron bark? And he's like, hey, you get pure iron bark by going to this one place, and there's some darkspawn there, which is why we don't go there anymore. But you look like an idiot, so why don't you go fight the darkspawn and get some pure iron bark? And you're like, will do. So you go get
I
the
will
pure...
say it is just an issue with like the game getting better between 1 and 2, but it is a little silly that in like Dragon Age Origins, you as a Grey Warden kind of struggle to fight most darkspawn. Like it is a genuine fight, and it takes a while to kill a darkspawn. And Hawk is just like, I can one-shot most darkspawn, and they're just dead. And we killed like 40 of them in this mission, and it's nothing.
Well,
Including
Hawk
an
is
ogre.
the champion, so champion, is that right? Is it champion? Is that what they call her? Champion?
I think so.
It's the champion, the chosen one. It's
champion.
good person destined for greatness.
Yeah, Hawk is amazing. I love Hawk. Super duper fun character, and surrounded by super duper fun characters. So, but yeah, Herbalist task, very much a formal fetch quest where like you have it on, and we get to do Herbalist tasks 2 more times this game, in Act 2 and in Act 3.
Woo!
Matt, tell us about the Unbidden rescue.
All right, so this is the one where you like. So I didn't quite understand this quest.
So okay,
So
this one you go. So the dude who runs Kirkwall's son got kidnapped by some Canary. So there are some Canary in the city. We haven't run into them
Okay,
yet.
yeah.
So there's a Canary section.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So he's like hanging out with the Canary. His dad's like hiring mercs to go find his son because he think he was kidnapped. Right.
Yep.
And then, so you go to the Wounded Coast, and then you like go find them in a camp somewhere, and the main mercenary has killed his Canary friend. So you end up siding with. Anyway, you side with the kid, and then you kill the merc, and then a bunch of the other mercs come after you. There's like 3 waves of mercs.
Yeah. So
Right.
essentially, so the Canary, they have like their own religion called like the Coon, and it's like super authoritarian. Like you follow orders, this, that, and the other. And so essentially what we kind of get from this is that he is kind of being indoctrinated into the Canary religion by this Canary faction that isn't necessary. It's called the Tall Sarath, I believe is what they're called. They're a different faction that the ones that are like currently in the city. They will be a big part of, I think, Act 2 actually, but we haven't really run into them yet. But anyway, so the city leader wants to go find his son under the guise of him being kidnapped, when he has very not much been kidnapped, but he just doesn't want his son running around the Canary because it looks bad for him. So we go, this mercenary is like, yeah, I'm I straight murder hobo around. That's what we do. We're the Winters. And so then she tries to kill us just for funsies. We kill her instead. Then there's a whole bunch of stuff come in. And then he's like, I'm going to go back and try to tell my dad what's what, and that the Canary aren't actually all that bad. And then his dad and him go and fight, and you can like either interject yourself or you can stay quiet. Did you guys jump into the conversation, or did you stay quiet?
I pieced out because I went, it's none of my business, and I got 5 points from Isabela for it.
Nice.
Same.
You do the same thing? Oh, I was like,
Yep.
It sounds like you both in this. Be quiet and listen to each other. That's what I said, because they did. Like, they're both just like yelling at each other and not listening to what the other person has to say. So, yeah, none of them liked that, but that's okay. Stormrage, I would like you to tell us about the best quest in the game. Nice crime you have around here.
Well, you have to stumble across this one because there's no indication on any map anywhere, and you have to accidentally go to Meryl's house for no particular reason.
Hidden in
But
the
once
quest
you do-
log.
Yeah. Once you do,
But who
you
knows
go
where that is?
and talk with Meryl, and Meryl's like, "Hey, I just witnessed some crime. That kind of sucks to just like see that." And you're like, "Yeah, it does suck. Bye." And that's the quest.
It's like one dialogue option. It's
She
weird.
says she has her exact words. She goes, she said that she witnessed a mugging, and then she says she was fascinated by seeing him. I was fascinated to see a mugging in real life, and you can be like, muggings are fascinating, And then you can kind of then just ask her if she's feeling homesick and that kind of stuff, and then you can get some friendship from her. But yeah, basically it's just like a country girl in the big city on her own, learning about the big city, and I think it's kind of fun. Well, that's it for this week's Dragon Age 2 Quest. We have the lore section to talk about now.
This one's a real page turner.
All right, so I thought we could talk a little bit about our favorite companions. Quick rundown of our companions. So we have Bethany Hawk, our sister, a mage. Carver Hawk, our brother, a warrior. Depending on which class we chose, one of them is dead. Aveline, a human warrior, sword and board fighter, tank. Varric, dwarf rogue with a crossbow named Bianca. Anders, former Grey Warden possessed by the spirit of justice and a healer. Isabela, former pirate, former captain, who is a dual-wielding rogue. Meryl, a Dalish elf who practices blood magic and was cast out from her clan because of the blood magic. And then Fenris, a former slave, two-handed warrior user whose master imbued Fenris' skin with lyrium, and he does not like mages. Now, with any of these, we kind of gave, what their path is. So Varric has to use his crossbow. That he has to use that. But, if we want, I think there is a bow path for Isabela. Meryl can use healing magic. Fenris can do sword and board if we want. I believe we can spec them all for that, but maybe I'm wrong. I'd have to go and double check. So just assume...
No, I think Fenris, I think he is pretty much straight up.
Does he have to two-handed warrior? And does Aveline have to do sword and board? I think you're right.
At least that's the way I have it set up.
Yeah, I think that might be right. I know in Origins you could choose different paths for them if you wanted to, but I think in Dragon Age 2, I think maybe their path.
I mean, is
sort of.
set. You could probably do it, but I think you're spending too many points and
I don't know if you even
talents,
can.
Right?
I'd have to go and check.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Anyways, so just what we said, just kind of assume that is correct. So I want to talk about the companions and what we kind of are liking about them, not liking about who's our favorite companion so far. We've kind of done that a little bit, but so Stormraze, just what are you loving about the companions? Which ones do you like best? Which ones are you steering clear of? What are you enjoying so far about the companions?
I just love how different their personalities are. I think my favorite companion so far, Bethany, is one of my favorites. I love Bethany a lot. There is a part of me that wishes that she was not related to the main character, so that way you could romance her, but I also think that the sister plotline is just, really strong, so I'm not gonna complain too much. But Bethany is one of my favorite characters in the game. Isabela, I've talked about a lot. She's very snarky and fun and silly, and I think she is great. And Meryl, I also like quite a bit. I think the people that I don't like as much, I'm struggling to really like Anders and Fenris because they're both sad emo boys, and I kind of struggle because I know the idea is most of the time with sad emo boy characters, you get through that hard outer shell and then you see who they really are and they become more interesting. But I have a hard time putting in the work to get past that first shell, and so those are kind of the two characters that I'm not vibing with as much. But I also want to add in Varric a lot more because he's very fun. I like the way that he is written.
Yeah. I agree a lot. Varric is a ton of fun. How about, what are you thinking, Matt?
I'm thinking I really am. I'm enjoying Carver. Carver and Anders don't really like each other for some reason. They just don't. They're kind of like oil and vinegar, mainly because Carver is pro Templar. It seems in a way. Which having a mage sister is kind of weird for that. You want to control them? Anyway. Also more Anders and Fenris also don't get along very well. They are really snarking back at each other. But I'm really enjoying. That's why I guess I'm enjoying Aveline more because she seems more apt to being normal, and yeah, and Isabela is just so much fun, and those two hate each other too. I'm just picking parties of people that hate each other, and it's fun to watch them bicker at each other. I don't know why.
I mean, that's not unfun. I did go and look at the skill trees, and as far as like weapon choice, that is locked in. So like
Okay.
Fenris does two-handed weapons. Aveline does sword and board. Isabela dual wields daggers. Now there
At
are
Carver you can set to whatever you want.
Carver you can.
Because I set him to a two-handed as well, and he's kind of been taking a back seat to
yeah, that might have been where I
Fenris.
got confused because last time I played as a mage and I had Carver in my party a lot. So
yeah, and Carver can do whatever you need him to do.
now there's a lot of overlap with like the warrior skills and the rogue skills and mage skills. So there are like a lot of that overlap, but then there are specific trees for weapons as well. So that the way that it kind of works, it's like there's, you know, a two-handed weapon tree, and then there's a whole like 4 or 5 other like warrior trees that overlap for all warriors that you use regardless of, you know, what weapon type. So anyone can take taunt as a warrior. All warriors get access to taunt regardless of if they're using two-handed weapons or sword and board. So, and then like any rogue can use like grenades, but, you know, regardless of if they're using, you know, sweat weapon types. So, Carver and Bethany are really, really interesting, and they only get more and more interesting as the game goes on. They kind of feel like they're just kind of thrown in, but then very quickly you kind of learn that there is a lot going on there, and it's very, very interesting. So I love both Bethany and Carver. I like Aveline fine. She's like, I think her story is really interesting, maybe more fun, maybe more interesting than actually playing with Aveline. Especially because like sword and shield isn't super fun necessarily in this game, and then also like Storm Race, it's kind of hard to get a pin down what she's looking for.
I mean, she's a cop. I mean, she's also a cop, right?
she is. Isabella's a ton of fun. Varric is a ton of fun. Meryl is super interesting. Fenris's story I think is awesome. Fenris is hard to. He's a super grump emo boy, and so it's easy to just say, I don't want the super grump emo boy in my party, but I also really enjoy Fenris's story quite a bit, and I don't really blame him. Like, his life has been awful. Like, he's either been a slave or been on the run, and because of his lyrium tattoos, his former master always knows where he is, and so it's just kind of all bad. It's kind of all just bad.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite characters, I'm sure most people's favorite characters, Isabela, Meryl, and Varric, they're just all like kind of buckets of fun. Bethany, I've never had her. I didn't play with, she wasn't alive in my last playthrough. So it's my first time having Bethany in the group as well. Bethany is awesome. I think a lot more fun than Carver. Bethany's kind of like a sheltered younger sister. And Carver's that as well, but Carver's like a sheltered younger brother who needs to get off of YouTube a little, maybe.
Yeah.
And
he's a bit incelish, a little bit.
not like completely, but you can kind of like see he has certain like, So but very interesting and good character as well, though. So yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna probably be running Varric, Meryl, and Isabela. I think that's the plan. I like the 2 rogues, and I think if I want to run a mage, I'll probably run Meryl because I want to try out the blood mage tank, which will leave Bethany on the shelf. So I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. So I don't want to leave Bethany on the shelf, especially not running with Isabela because those 2 are so funny. Absolutely funny. But yeah, I honestly, I didn't think that I would find characters I vibed with and enjoy as much as Mass Effect 2, but these companions are as good as the Mass Effect 2 companions. They're just awesome.
I don't know. It's hard to
there's
top Morgan.
I mean, there's not a Jack, and Jack was awesome, but I mean
Morden.
Yeah.
I certainly think that they are, at the very least, extremely close. I think that there are probably a few companions in Mass Effect that I like more than the companions in Dragon Age, but we also get more time with those companions, so we can see more of a story arc. I am guessing that very few, if any, of these companions are also companions in Dragon Age Inquisition. Is that correct?
Varric is like the main character of Dragon Age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So We got one. But like the characters that I love most in Mass Effect are in all three as major players. And I'm so we don't quite get that same arc, but they are really well written and they're really, really fun here in Dragon Age.
Yeah. I like the Mass Effect 2 companions more than Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 3 companions. I don't know if I like them more than Mass Effect 2 companions though. But the Mass Effect 2 companions were incredible. Like,
yeah,
hands down incredible. I like how much more time we get with Dragon Age 2 characters and how they all have their own base and they all have their own life. They are living lives outside of Hawk and like her story, which I think adds more. They're more three-dimensional than I think we get with our Mass Effect 2 companions, which kind of exist within, Shepard, right? Like without Shepard, they kind of don't have as much purpose. A few of them do. And we get that in Mass Effect 3. They kind of really flesh that out a little bit, but then they glom on back into Shepard and they get back on the ship and they kind of, again, then kind of just... Whereas with the cool thing about 2, and this does not carry over in Inquisition quite as well, is in 2, because of the way that the city is set up, they have their own lives, and that's so cool. And then we get experience with those companion quests. I love it. Absolutely love it. So, yeah. Where are we at? The Naga sandwich. Okay.
Taste my grilled cheese.
Munch, munch, munch.
And our first good.
That's me. I love that there just doesn't feel like a bad choice for who do we bring on quests. I know that we talked about like companions that I don't vibe with as much, but truth be told, I'll still bring them along quests every now and then just be like, I'll give you another shot. And it doesn't feel like, oh, why did I bring them? Sometimes I go, I miss Isabella's snark. I'm going to bring her next time. But it's never like, oh, I brought the wrong companion for this quest. I need XYZ, which always kind of frustrates me in games when it's like, no, you need this person here for this thing to do that. It just feels like, what's the flavor you want in this particular mission? And I really like that flexibility.
Agreed. I have the not so
What's
good.
our not so good?
Oh, man. It's what are the points of these fetch quests? These side quests? What are we doing with these things? They don't need to be quests. They don't need to even exist. Like, you found Sister So-and-so's scarf. Oh, you happen to know the exact person to bring the scarf to. Oh, here's 50 silver. And like, you never get the story of that scarf. You never know why that scarf. Maybe if you read the quest log, it's in there, but you almost kind of complete them by accident because there's an arrow pointed to these guys, unlike some of the secondary quests. And so, in the companion quests. And so it feels kind of worthless. So like the side quests, like, I don't know, 95% of them have no story attached to them, really. That at least is I'm aware of. And I read a lot of the stuff. And you just go, you find some junk, you return the junk to somebody, and they give you 50 silver. And then you move on.
It feels like it's right on the precipice of understanding what's not fun in games, but doesn't quite go all the way with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, hey, you know what sucks? Junk. So we're just going to label it all as junk so that way you can sell it rapidly. And it's like, ooh, you're so close to understanding what's not fun about this, but you could just eliminate that and things would be happier. The fetch quests are so simple and small that they don't impact the game, but you could just eliminate them and it would just be better.
I'm sure.
I mean, it just gives you a reason to go in the Chantry for like, I guess, like, let's walk to the Chantry building right now.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. Like, the junk and picking up junk and looting junk. Like, why are we looting junk? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, they're almost there. It gets put into like its own little pile. You sell it without even realizing it. And then the fetch quests, I'm like, why? They're a bummer. You don't get much gold. You don't get any gold out of it. You get 50 silver out of it, and you don't even realize you have it. And it's you end up just running around. It's like I'm running around. Now you get to run around Kirkwall, and Kirkwall is awesome and super fun to run around in, and so that's nice at least. But yeah, all in all, I don't know that we need the side quests in the game. I feel like they're probably a net negative instead of a net positive. So at best, net neutral, but probably more. Yeah. So what's our best good?
Best good is just I I was able to compile all the quests for next week and this week into the Wounded Isles all at one time. I just was able to do that. That will all end up in the Wounded Isles, and got them all done in one smash, and it felt really, really good.
Almost like maybe that's why it was set up that way.
Right? But like, it was just, I know, but it's like, so I didn't have to go back to the Wounded Isles for anything else after I was done with the last quest, which was the guy that, which was the Unbidden rescue quest with the guy's son. So
Nice.
It worked out. It was great. I liked it. It made it a lot easier to get kind of check that whole area off my list until something pops in there at some point. So
Love a
That's
good
good.
quest hub.
He
right.
asks each traveler 5 questions. 3 questions. 3 questions.
3, that's a magic number.
Matt, what are you liking so
Yeah.
far?
I like how the city just feels like each like little the areas are like connected. Like you go through, it's like say you're in like the main, like the high town, right? You're in high town,
Mhm.
and you find like like the little stairs that go down to low town, and then low town connect, and you pop out of this pot in low town, and eventually you make your way to the dock, and then you warp over to the docks, and then you find the little spot in the corner. You go down there. You're in like the undertown, like the sewer town, and then you take an elevator up to low town, like, and you pop out in the spot in low town. It like just the way that the city connects and the way like where you pop out at in the next area feels great. I don't know why. I don't know how the best way to explain it, but like it makes the city feel connected. Like, okay, I did come from this area, as opposed to just whenever I go to this area, I show up in this zone. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? From anywhere.
Kirkwall is well designed, and the way that you get around Kirkwall is well designed, I think.
I
Yeah.
did not notice that. I assumed that whenever I go to a location, it's the same location every time. I have
No.
never once noticed that I pop out at different spots depending on where I come from.
Yeah, I think Kirkwall caught a lot of grief when people first played through it, and I feel like they're wrong. I think Kirkwall is sort of awesome.
If it had like a overall map of like just the city itself, like that, like right, like you had like your location map, or the M button map
Yeah.
that you pop up, and if it had a way that you can see where it connects to the other things, it would help.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'm
It's-
a map guy, so I like it.
It is they do a much more artistic version of it as opposed to a more like cartographic version of Kirkwall.
Realistic. Yeah.
So you do kind of not realize what's going on. I also do wish that like the mini map could overlay like it does in Diablo 2 or
Oh, where it's just like, or it's like full screen.
yeah, a full screen like opaque map so you could see that as opposed to having to look at the mini map so much. I do wish they'd done that
Yeah.
as well. But yeah, I love Kirkwall. I think Kirkwall is super cool and super well designed, and I'm with you 100% there, Matt.
All right. Storm Rage. What are you liking so far?
I just love listening to Isabela and Meryl. There is just a supercut of those two talking to one another. I'd listen every time. I love the fact that you've got like this pirate who's seen the world and is kind of jaded by it, and this innocent blood mage who is still really optimistic and hopeful about the world but hasn't experienced it, and the kind of the mirroring of those two personalities and viewpoints I think is just really, really fun to listen to. Dano, what are you liking so far?
I'm liking that. I found that for you. I will send you the link after we're done here. It was the first hit on YouTube when I Googled the supercut for those two. I love the flexibility of the party comps. I think that's super fun. And I love that there is a simple and cheap respec available in the Black Emporium. So you can...
Is that where I need to go in order to
Mhm.
respec?
Yeah, so it is a potion that you buy. It is... I have to go and look up what it's named. I don't remember what it's named, but if you Google it, and it'll tell you that it's the respec potion. So you have to go to one of like the treasures one, I think, just behind the weird guy and his throne. And then it's in the potions area. It's like a gold and a half or something like that for a respec potion, but there are 99 of them. And so it really lets you, so you have super flexibility in party comp and flexibility in character design, because you don't have to follow a build guide and you can try things out to see if they work. And that is why respecs are important. And I don't understand in modern games why devs don't understand why respecs are important. If you don't have a respec, you're not allowed to play the game, because I don't have 100 hours to try different things out. And so allowing a respec lets me try out. Maybe I want to give Isabela a try as an evasion tank. I can try. And if it doesn't work, I can respec her. But if I try and respecs aren't part of the game, then I just completely bombed that character. She's unplayable and I can't use her anymore. And so respecs are incredibly important for that reason. And I don't understand why people don't include them in games. You're just taking away a player's ability to experiment with characters. And I love that we have flexibility party comps and a cheap respec so that you can try cool things, see if something fun works out. And then if it doesn't, you go pay, $1.50 gold, and then you can go ahead and try something different with a character. I love it. Absolutely love it. Matt, what are you struggling with?
The dungeons are kind of starting to run together a little bit. They're kind of using the same dungeon layout every once in a while, same warehouse layout, same layout for this cave. It's fine. They kind of block off some doors and walls, so it's like, oh, you can't go here, so you have to go this other way. So you kind of explore it a little bit more, but also it's the same boss chamber every time. It's kind of annoying, but it works. It's whatever. Anyway, Storm Rage, how about you?
I don't know who I'm gonna romance. They're all good. Like, I want to romance Anders because he's a sad emo boy, and I think that'd be a fun plotline. I want to romance Fenris because he's a sad emo boy, and I think that'd be a fun plotline. I want to romance Isabela because I have a feeling that there's going to be a different side of her when you actually start to romance her, and she kind of drops to fake BS. Maybe not. I want to romance Meryl because she deserves love and appreciation and respect. Like, I want to romance every single one of these characters, and I do not know how to do it, and I might crack and download the Polymod.
I would say you should romance Anders because I am curious how that one goes, and I'm not going to do it.
Because I'm doing Ferris, so we'll see.
Are you? I'm Meryl again. Meryl's just too much fun. It's such a good one. It's Meryl.
I might swing Ferris into like a rival and try to do it that way.
Fenris into a rival. That'd be super fun.
Yeah.
Dano, what are you struggling with?
The weapon DLCs are a bit much. If I could go and do it all over again, I would just leave them all unopened and then just play the game vanilla without the weapon DLCs. Because like the gear that you get out of some of those like, and they were sold separately. So you buy the mage DLC or you buy the rogue DLC. And then so your companions got like these special like pendants and rings that level up with them. And then if you're playing a warrior, you get like a special weapon that levels up with you as well. And they're just crazy good. Crazy good. There's really no reason to replace them until endgame, and maybe not even then. So like the two-handed hammer that I'm running with right now, probably with me the whole game. So, which is fine. I don't necessarily need to like worry about gear too much. The gear isn't like super interesting in this game, and so I'm actually not too worried about it. But I do feel like the gear is so good from these DLCs that running on hard mode is basically running on normal mode, because I don't believe it's balanced in any way, shape, or form. And so I do believe I'm playing on normal mode on hard mode, and I think if I want to play hard, I have to go to Nightmare is my guess. I'm having fun on hard mode with the DLC weapons. I don't think I'm going to change that. Maybe that changes as I level up. But I probably, if I could do it over again, just wouldn't use the weapon DLCs and just play it vanilla. But now that I've already done it, I'd have to like try to like
go back.
Yeah, I don't have any of the gear. I sold everything. Just
don't. Next time you play, just don't open the treasure room.
That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I wish I'd done that this time and just not open the treasure room. And just left it sitting there. Or just sold everything off, right? Take the copper from each thing. Yeah. I don't know. So, but it's fine. Not the end of the world, really. Matt, what has surprised you about the game?
So they did this in Dragon Age 1 or Dragon Age Origins, I realized, where like every area is just pre-run. Like it's not like a big open space. It's kind of just a maze or a area that kind of has a living a little bit. I just like the way they do it in this game more than I liked it in Dragon Age Origins. It just feels more realistic, more like directed in a way too. That makes it play easier. I'm not sure how I'm explaining this properly at all, but like just the level design seems cool. Like seems better here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they're very much levels, but they're like very much like the way they place the pieces, like it's like a D&D table. Like, you know, you set up the pieces and you have like NPCs you talk to, like in a D&D session or something like that. It works for me.
Yeah.
So I'm tired. Storm Rage. How about you?
I just like the writing. I think it's really well done. I think it's really engaging. I think it's interesting. I think even storylines that feel unimportant still feel good. And I think that's a tough line to toe because not everything can be the same level of importance. Otherwise, nothing matters. And I think that even the small scenes are still really engaging. And I just think it's really well done. There's not been a point where I went, I don't know why they wrote it that way. There's been some things that I might have gone like broad story scale wise. I'm not sure that choice or this doesn't quite line up with the lore that I know about. But generally speaking, it's really, really good. Dano, what surprised you?
I love Meryl's story. It's like so instantly engaging. Like she made a decision and stuck with it. And then Flemeth called her out on it immediately. She's like, Flemeth's like, and you girl, maybe you shouldn't be so confident about the things that you are confident about. It just is one little throwaway line, and it is so cool. I think her story is fun. She's like, she is obviously like whip smart, has this like idea. She knows what she's doing. Everyone else is wrong. She knows that she's being safe about it. Goes to the big city, learning about like, you know, it's just a really fun character. And then it is voice acted so well. Like, I'm not sure the voice actor is, but she is absolutely killing it. Meryl, I think, is my favorite character in the first playthrough of this game. It's my favorite character right now as well. Absolutely loving Meryl quite a bit.
You want to buy some death sticks?
You don't want to sell me death sticks.
I don't want to sell you death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life.
I want to go home and rethink my life.
My favorite part about selling the game to a friend right now is I can see both Matt and Storm Rage staring at the screens with blank things next to their names here and cursors there, trying to be like, what am I going to sell this game to a friend? I'll go ahead and go first.
I already sold it today.
I'll go ahead and go first. Hey, buy the weapons DLCs and the game plays itself.
If you want to know if you're slightly bisexual, try this game. You'll get your answer pretty quick.
Matt, do you have anything or you want to move on?
Game good.
Game good indeed. That's it for this week. Next week, we are heading into the Brazilian forest. Thank you all so much for listening. That is it for this week. Thanks to our patrons for patronizing us. You can find links to our Discord, our contact information, or our Patreon in the description of this podcast.
Oh, that Dragon Age 2 is a game, and games are supposed to be fun. Sorry, I was looking up who Meryl's voice actress is.
Yeah! Have that sexual identity crisis, baby!
He did it at the end of the show! Everybody bye!
Awakening? Awakening is better. Ironic that this is not Dragon Age Awakening. It would be more correctly called.
Really should be.
Yeah, right? Dragon Age Sexual Awakening. All right, so Meryl, first of all, appeared in Dragon Age Origins. She was a temporary party member in the Dalish Elf Origin.
I did remember that Meryl was there. I thought about it at the time, and I could not remember if that was Meryl or if it was just someone who was a stand-in. Like, and then and then everybody look it up. But I did remember that there was a character there. So that is the same group because they mentioned they moved from Ferelden to Kirkwall. Cool.
Yeah, and the voice actress for Dragon Age 2 is Eve Miles, who's a Welsh actor, which means she has shown up in, if not Doctor Who, then Torchwood.
Love me some Torchwood. Speaking of,
she's the
speaking
brunette.
of shows
she's
that
the brunette.
make you wonder and go,
Yeah, that show. I'm not sure if that show is ever any good. But yeah.
Nice.
And the show and the TV series Keeping Faith and Little Dorrit. I don't know what that is.
So not like necessarily a professional voice actress, more of a traditional actress who did a little bit of voice acting?
Nor just like a professional actress that does voice work. Yeah.
Nice. So kind of a Kate...
like she was... Actually, I think I'm looking at her entire IMDb. And like, yeah, the only voices she's done is like from Dragon Age and Torchwood podcasts. And the rest is like all TV series.
Nice.
So,
well, sweet.
Yeah, good for her.
And she's awesome. All right. That's it. I have to get this podcast out to our patrons and then go to bed. So,
goodbye, sweet world. I'll see you next week.
We'll talk at you
patrons,
again
I hope you
don't.
I hope you don't choke on the 2 hour and 30 minute podcast you're getting.
Yeah, especially that 5 minutes of dead air in the middle.
Dano,
right?
Matt, I'm really excited to have already seen you guys by the time this go live.
Exactly.
It was so much fun. It was much fun. It was great. We should do it again. I would say, but we? Yeah. I say we should meet up again. 3 days from now?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great plan.
Great.
3 days from now and or a week ago, depending on how you're listening to this.
Timey, wimey, wibbly, wobbly.
Yeah. All right. Later, everyone. Talk to you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.